Okay, so we're going to create a logo in Animate. Now, Animate is a great drawing application. It's got some really good features, and it's got a very low barrier to entry, so it's quite easy to produce some pretty good stuff pretty early on in your career, let's say, using it, or the time using it. But it has got a few quirks. So I'm just going to go over some of the quirks first, some of the ways that it works. And you can start to see the how powerful it can be and how quickly it is to get up to speed. Alright, so the first thing you need to be aware of is the layers palette. I've just gone File, New, and we've created a new document, which is a full HD document. We've got layers up here. Okay, it's like Photoshop. We've got a layers stack, and then here we've got obviously our workspace, and I'm just going to show all. So this is our document sitting in the window. If I put it to 100%, obviously it's the same size as the screen, so it fills this whole space. But if we go fit in window, there we go, we can see our document. So we're slightly zoomed out at the moment. Now it doesn't really, I'll just close those. So it doesn't really matter about scale and size. We don't have to worry about that yet because we're working with vector graphics. They scale. They can scale up infinitely because they're points, lines and fills as opposed to pixels as in a bitmap like we were working in Photoshop. So we don't have to worry about things pixelating. And that's really good because we can work at a really, really big scale, and we can scale things down and we can also scale things up, freely. So I'm not going to worry too much about scale. We do have to worry about symmetry and things like that. So rulers and guides and things do come in very handy. So I'm going to turn on the rulers and let's say, I'm going to put a line, a guide about 500. So just so I know roughly I've got a midpoint yeah, let's just put another one here. We'll do that, 500. Okay, it's a little bit fiddly. Let's actually use the zoom tool. Zoom right in. And then we'll put a guide at 500. So that point, it literally goes red. Like so. Okay, so that's 500 by 500. So I'll make that a sort of center because we want to work with symmetry we'll mirror everything from left to right and up and down as need be. I'll crop the document later, just want a lot of working space to be able to create stuff. Alright, so some of the odd things about Flash is it's got two different drawing modes. One is object mode and one is merge mode. Now I'm going to show you object mode first because this is the one that everybody's most familiar with. If I create an object, now I've got the normal drawing tools here. These are the select and rotate and transform. These are some of my brushes and drawing tools. These are some of the fill and the line and the pin and the pen tool. And these are the zoom and the hand. So it's a hand to reposition everything around. Double click to snap it back to fit in view. Magnifying glass, click to zoom in, double click on the magnifying glass to set it to 100, double click on the hand to reposition everything. So I'm double clicking on these pretty much all of the time. But if we take a look at the drawing tools, now we're in, I'm going to choose this rectangle tool, and then I'm going to swap into what's known as object drawing mode. So I'm going to enable that toggle. So now I'm in object drawing mode. I'm drawing on layer 1, if we take a note of that. I'm going to draw a blue box. If we look, we've got some colour and style options here. So we've got stroke and fill. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to change the colour for now. And then object there. Change the colour again. And don't forget this is in object drawing mode. So I've got 3 different objects on that layer. Now if I select and move them around, they all move independently of each other. I can layer them up. I can even modify, arrange, bring to front. So that's a very traditional way of doing things in vector drawing applications. You can click, we can move them around, we can change the layout, the stacking order, and yeah, that's all good. So that's what we're familiar with. I'm going to lock that layer and then I'm going to switch off its visibility. Okay, so we've got nothing there in the visible layer, and then I'm going to use this button to add another layer. So now I've got two layers, one which is the not showing, which we can toggle off and on there, and it's locked currently, so I can't select anything, I can't move anything. But now we've got this layer here, and I'm going to look at the other mode. So I'm going to come out of object drawing mode, which is the traditional drawing mode for Flash, which is called merge mode. Now here, if we draw those shapes, I can draw blue rectangle, yeah, do another colour, yeah, and then do another colour. Yeah, what you would expect if we were still in drawing mode was for me to be able to move those individually, but now we're in merge mode. If we look, don't want to move the guide, don't do that. Now, if we click and drag, yeah, the objects, that's taken away the chunk of where it was. And here it's left the outline. That again, it's taken away where it was and left the outline. Here, yeah. Now, where we've put that, we've eaten into the line and deleted it. These objects are sort of merging together. Now, if we put them together, yeah, eat into that, separate that. So each time an object intersects another object, yeah, they're cutting away like stencils from each other. So if we take that and put that there, yeah, two separate objects. I can separate that. If I put that over there, yeah, now they're the same colour. They've merged together. So it will merge on colour, yeah. But if they're different colours, they've got to be exactly the same colours, you know, they will eat into each other. Now, it's a bit different to what everybody's used to, but it's actually very powerful because it means we can take these lines, yeah, and then make shapes like that very quickly. You know, we can make some quite unique shapes. We can also do that to the fills. You know, we can have some fills that are very organic, quite easily. But also we can take shapes like this, for example, take our line tool and then just draw through it like so, and then yeah, we can use the lines to cut our objects apart. Obviously we can just select and then delete the lines. So we can use that literally to, yeah, carve up our objects like so. Now that can be very powerful, and yeah, I find it very helpful once you get your head around how it works, yeah, it's good. Now, there we go, that's our original layer. I'm going to delete everything in this document, so off the two layers. I'm going to view, we're going to hide our guides for the moment. We don't need those, we'll use them later. Let's see, one of the most powerful things about working with merge mode is this. I can draw a circle, then I can lock that layer, move on to the top layer. I can draw another circle, yeah. I might want to change the colour on the inside, so we can do that, fill that. So we can now position that all over the place. We can position it exactly where we want. It's not going to eat into each other because we're on separate layers, so effectively in object drawing mode. We can put it exactly where we want it, like so. Let's say I wanted that there. Then I can unlock both layers, Control and A to select everything, and then I'm going to Control X to cut, and then I'm going to edit Shift V to paste in place. Okay, now that everything is on one layer, which means I can then delete and we eat away, yeah, and create that shape, which we can then right click, modify, transform, yeah, and scale and do the other types of things. Distort. Yeah. Play around with some of the curves. You know, so very easily, it's you know, very easy to make you know, complicated shapes. I'll just go over that again, just really briefly. You know, we can draw a circle. Yeah, I can go onto the upper layer. Yeah, change the colour, draw another circle, and if we want to have a look at how we're going to do it with the menus, rather than remembering the keystrokes, we can select everything across the two layers. You can edit, cut, select one layer there, edit, paste in place, that one. Now they're together, and then we can delete. Okay, so that again is a really powerful thing to do, and let's let's distort that a bit. You know, play around with it. Change, transform, free transform. Yeah, very powerful. Let's bring that above it. Put that there. Control A, selects both. Control X, Control Shift V. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, so that is yeah. I mean, that's the basic tools really, and that's generally all we're gonna use. We're gonna be careful about our stroke. We might get into these fill, you know, and the eyedropper tool here, and the ink bottle. So we can select colours using this. We can apply outlines using the ink bottle, and then we can change the fill colours by using the paint bucket. Yeah, so let eyedropper make a stroke, an outline. So we'll select all of that, and then we might want to just play around with the stroke size, like so, over here. You can play around with the style of it as well, and the width, so it can go in and out, give it a much more hand painterly type of look if we wish. Make it a dotted line, you know, a whole host of different things there. But you know, that's probably not something that we're going to get into for our purposes for doing logos and things. Yeah, that's okay. That gives quite a nice little look. Right. Okay. So, with that said, let's start thinking about drawing or creating our logo. Okay, so this is going to be the center. Let's just play around with the document size. Actually, we'll do it 1,000 by 1,000. Don't need to constrain it. So we'll unlock it. So 1,000 by 1,000. Okay, so that's roughly where we're going to put our logo. That's dead center. Let's just save this. We'll call it logo 1, logo V1, because we might be doing lots of them, but until we're happy. And then let's get started. Right, now the first thing I'm going to do is I want to create some spirals. This is going to be a sort of a gothic type icon for the House of Hell project, and I want a like an octopus type sea creature. I'm going for a bit of a Cthulhu vibe here, and I want to create a spiral. Now this is actually quite saying how wonderful Animate is. It doesn't have an automated tool to create a spiral. So what we're going to do is make one in 3ds Max, and that's easy to do in Max. I'm just going to swap over to our top view, Alt W. I'm going to zoom right in, and I'm going to create on this one here the shapes palette here, a helix, and I'm going to click and drag, click, and then release. Okay, and that's going to draw this swirl for me. Now I want to play around with some of these values. I don't want any height distribution. If I look at the our fore view, yeah, we can see that it's not flat. So I want height to 0. Radius 2, I want that to 0, 2. And then here I want that to be 100. Turns, we'll have it at 1.25, so it'll loop all the way around like so. You know, so that's cool, happy with that. So we'll just zoom back in on the top. Yeah, and then I want to copy it. We're going to do a copy. I'm going to make sure that that's set to 0, 0. Let's do the same on the other one, and that's slightly off. We'll set that to 0, 0. So now they're both the same. Helix 2, I'm going to make that a bit bigger. I'll make that 150. Yeah, and now we can see we've got this like tentacle coming out here. So that's going to join up. That's cool. Yeah, that's all good. Right, so one of the things we need to do is convert both of these to editable splines. Okay, because the helix won't export, or we can't export them out as vector graphics. So we'll select that, File, Export, Export selected, and I'm going to, this is the one I did earlier, I'm going to export this, we'll call it Helix, like so. And we'll export it, if we check the details, check that you export it as Adobe Illustrator AI. Okay, so that's a helix. Okay, so with that done, we're going to go back to our document, and then I'm going to go File, Import, Import to Stage, and I'm going to choose Helix AI. It's got our two objects there. I'm not going to worry about any of this, I'm just going to import, and here we go. Now it's going to be quite huge, so I'm going to go Show All, and we can see that's the scale, and then I'm going to right click, transform, free transform, and then I'm just going to grab the corners and I'm going to scale it down holding shift because I don't want it to stretch, and I'm going to scale it down like so. Now as I say, it doesn't matter, I'm going to move it up there, it doesn't quite matter the scale because everything scales, it's no problem. You know, we can snap things really big, really small, quite easily without any loss of resolution. Okay, so there we go. That's the our tentacle, and we're going to have to start to, well, one, fill it in, and then basically arrange them, and then draw them up around the sort of the centre of our octopus. So I'm going to lock that now and just hide it because we need to sort of work out how this is going to you know, how this is going to look. So if we think octopus, we generally think, you know, a big head like this, something like that. I'm not going to need the stroke, so we can get rid of that. There you go. And then I'm going to put this right in the middle of the actually, let's have a look at some free transform, make it a bit wider. Yeah, okay. So octopus head, let's make sure we get it exactly on the center line. So with free transform enabled, right click, transform, free transform, you get these really handy little markers, and you can check the guide to make sure they're in the right place. Now I want the top of his head, I'm holding down shift to constrain it moving vertically. Yeah, that'll be roughly about there, I reckon. That's sort of okay. Probably a bit big actually. I'll do it like that. And then I want a body, which I'm going to just now use another layer, and then I'm going to slightly change the colour so that they don't merge if we bring them together. I'm going to get rid of the stroke, so I'll put stroke, click on that, and then use this box here, the white square with the red line through it, so no stroke. And then I'm going to, from the centre, I'm going to draw out. Now I'm holding down shift so I don't so I can snap it straight. But if I hold down Shift whilst before releasing the button, my mouse button, and then hold down Control, or actually Alt, sorry, not Control, then I can draw out from the center point. And there we go. That sort of looks, yeah, roughly okay for sort of the body of our octopus. Okay, that's cool. Now we want a couple of eyes in there. So let's draw those. I'm going to just draw another colour again. Let's take that one. Yeah, a couple of eyes, so that'll do. Yeah, I'm eating away, so I shouldn't have done that without adding another layer. So I've got to add another layer. Cool. We'll draw that like so, keep it circular. One there. Yeah, and then copy and paste. No, I didn't paste in place, I pasted and it went in right into the center. And now I just need to check that we're getting everything lined up and that's absolutely symmetrical. In fact, yeah, I will do that. Let's go 371, so the X. Well, actually, let's put it at 450. No, alright, I'm just going to do it for by eye. I'll duplicate that later. So we'll just do it roughly for the moment and only worry about one side. Let's though stay on the same layer. Well, no, actually, let's add a new layer, and then let's actually put an eyeball in there. What I think we'll do is we'll swap that to white, like so. Make sure we're sort of in the middle of where we need to be. Right, and that's fine. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Alright, so that's good. And then, yeah, that's okay. We're alright for the moment. Okay, so let's think about getting some of these tentacles in here. What I will do is I'm going to select all of those, Control X, just undo that, select that one as well, select Control A, select all, Control X to cut, and then Control Shift V to paste. Now I'm going to select that one and then delete, so that is all now one colour. I've cut out away that object, and now I can go select everything and make it all one colour by choosing there. Okay, so now that's all one colour. Obviously I haven't got the eye on that side, so I'm going to select all the way up to my guide, delete, select that object, Control C, Control V, copy and paste, edit, modify, transform, flip, horizontal, and then we're going to bring that up, and then I'm just going to zoom in and then bring them together. Not quite together. There we go. Right, one shape. Okay, so there you go. We'll get rid of those guides for now. We can put them back in if necessary. Okay, so we can say, right, that's our body and the head of our octopus. Bring that down a little bit. don't forget, it doesn't matter because I'm going to duplicate everything anyway, so that's sort of okay. Right, so let's say that's our head. Yeah, that's cool. Let's think about bringing these tentacles in. Tentacles, we know that it's quite huge at the moment. Let's switch that off, we don't need that for now. And let's think about how these need to be. Right, first thing I'm going to do, these are objects. Yeah, so I'm just going to break them all apart. Break apart so that we've got, you know, lines. And then let's actually just close that space. Stroke. Make sure we draw a line like so, and then I'm going to fill with the paint bucket, any colour that. I only want the fill, I don't want the stroke, so I'll take that out and then select all of that and then delete it. So I've got that left. If we look now, we got that. Now's the question, they're on different layers, so they're not going to merge, so we don't have to worry about that. Now I'm going to work out where I can put these. Right, so first one I want is, if I just always work on the left hand side, then it should be okay. I'm just going to go, well, basically modify, transform. I'm going to flip horizontal, modify, transform, flip vertical. Actually, let's flip it back the other way. Modify, transform, flip horizontal. Yeah, okay, so we've got that first bit, but I might want to rotate it. So right click, transform, free transform. Yeah, like so. That's good, probably too big. Yeah, so we can go like that one. Put it something like that. Now I'm going to have to join up that tentacle there a bit. That's probably too big actually. Yeah, like so. Copy and paste again. Bring that down. Maybe that one down to about there, something like that. Spacebar to move that up. It's very easy to just add in more size to your document if you want. 1500. Yeah, and then that one, copy and paste. Make it again a bit smaller. Maybe rotate it around a bit. Oh, it's a bit too small. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's bring a guide back in again. Okay, probably have to zoom in to get it right on 500. Yeah, zoom in. 500. Double click on the hand. Alright, so we don't want to like cross over with that point, but we do want right click. Transform, free transform, probably want to bring that back a little bit, like so. Alright, so now the question becomes, you know, how do we join these legs up to the body, and then I want another one coming up here. Now again, this is really quite straightforward. We can just draw lines from here and just connect them up. So, one thing you will notice though is, look, that's not really smooth because of the way we brought it across from Max. What I'm going to do is, do this on all of them. I'm going to select, modify, and then up to shape, and then I'm going to go advanced smooth, and then, you know, smooth all the angles below 180, smooth all the below angles above 180, smooth strength 100, and that will just smooth them all out. Give us some nice curves around there. Same here. Modify, shape, advanced smooth, smooth in 100. We're just doing the maximum. Keeping it straightforward, and then same on that one. Modify, shape, advanced smooth, There we go, 100, yeah, all nice. Okay, I might actually, just around here, want to actually do the same here. Modify shape, advanced smooth. We've got a preview on so we can see whether or not it makes a big difference. No, that's nice little bit of curvature there, which is cool. Okay, so that's good. As I say, I'm not worrying about the symmetry, we'll worry about that later. But what I do want to do is, this is one of the really nice things about Animate, is using lines to just eat away into shapes. Let's say we wanted to take that. I don't want a standard line, that's fine. I don't want it to be huge, I'm just going to use 0.1, smallest line there is, and then I'm going to go from there, draw a line like that, and then using this tool, I'm going to select the line, and then I'm going to bend it slightly, maybe move that there, yeah, that'll do. Just delete that little bit on the end. These lines are all going to be deleted anyway, they're just so that we can eat away into the shape. Then I'm going to take that one, draw that out there, select that end, delete, and bring that down. So we're not going to do that. Let's say we will bring it down and then bring that up. Getting a bit messy, just take that corner, bring that over. Might be a bit too much. Yeah, okay, so we can delete that area there. Then we can delete these lines, like so, and then come out, show all, and then smooth it again. It should round, okay, don't want it to do that much. What I want to do is just round off that little corner there. How are we going to do that? Select that bit. So I'm holding down shift and just selecting the top bits. Okay, let's see if we can just smooth that part. Right, it's sort of doing it. I'm going to cancel that, don't want to do that. Let's just drag that down and then try and reshape that. Grab that little corner, try and reshape that. Yeah, there you go. So we're just sort of slowly smoothing it out, I suppose. I want to get rid of that little bulge by just closing that gap. And then modify shape, advanced smooth, see what happens. Okay, so we got that's okay. Yeah, not really keen on that bit, we're introducing that. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so where we're eating away, we just need to make sure that it's all neat and tidy. Yeah, like that bit there, we don't need that. Like so. Okay, so that'll do. Yeah, that's alright. As I say, I'll duplicate the other side later. Alright, next thing to do is to start to join these up. What it might be easier to do is to select that object, use the ink bottle tool to draw a line around the outside, and then zoom in. Yeah, and then use the line tool to continue that line over to here. Yeah, but then bend it so that it looks sort of okay and it looks like it matches. Same with that one. Okay, don't want to do that. It's not quite as neat as it could be, but we could take that. I'll do one there, let go, and then draw another one there. Now I want that line to sort of follow along. I'm going to delete that, delete that, delete that. I'm going to bring that to about there, and then just bend that line. Take that one, and then just bend that one. Okay, so now I can delete that, deleting these lines in the middle, like so. I might have to delete a little one there as well. Eventually I'm going to delete all of the outlines, and then I can just use the paint bucket, I think, to, if we don't have, let's make sure that those lines actually I don't want to move that. It's just yeah, we can join those together like so, and then fill like that. Okay, so that's one tentacle sort of stretching all the way across. Now we need to do another one, which is going to go up here. So I'm going to do exactly the same. We're just going to ink bottle fill, like so. I'm going to zoom in, and then yeah, using the line tool, we need to sort of head up towards that array. So I'm just going to draw a straight line, and then we're going to bend it like so. That one. We want to go from about there up to there, but I want to delete that and delete that, delete that, probably delete that as well. Bit too much that one, and then we're going to bend. That needs to come down to about there, and yeah, there you go. So job done. Too thick. Okay, then we need to think about filling them, so I'm going to just cap that off, and then use the paint bucket tool to fill. Now, one of the things with the fill paint bucket, you've got an option here which is to don't close gaps or close large gaps. Now there's probably some gaps here, yeah, and then once we set it on close large gaps, don't worry about it, it will just fill that automatically anyway. So yeah, that looks okay. There's probably still going to be some fixing to do, but we'll worry about that later. Alright, actually let's do this last one, and then we'll see what happens. Now that one needs to cross over, and both of them need to cross over. I think we're going to need a little bit more space here, so I'm going to select that, select that, select that, and that. I'm going to Control X. Now I've got the lines there, I don't need the lines, I'm going to delete them, and then I'm going to Control Shift and V and paste into place. Now it's good that they don't connect, because we'll connect those up later, but I can still move them around, and position them where we want them, like so. That one again we will do the same as I did before. Ink bottle there, zoom in, and that one needs to sort of cross over the midline, and come down here. So let's get that done. A line. Now because we've got sort of an S curve here, I'm going to bring that way. Oh no, that'll do. Yeah, that'll be okay, yeah. Let's just do that. Delete the ends, and then that bit. Okay, just slowly trying to get a nice sort of even, consistent shape. Bring that like so. Now they don't match, but that's fine. We can join those up, making sure we're okay, like so. Right, let's just fill that. Oh, I need to close that bit. Line, close, fill, like so. Right, so now I'm going to control select all of these. Like so. Control X. Going to delete that. Control Shift V. Right, now we're there. Okay. Now, right, so we're sort of okay. That's sort of okay. I think we could do with a bit of smoothing there. Modify, shape, advanced smooth. See what happens. Okay, it was alright there, but it hasn't quite made the impact here that I wanted. That's okay, I don't mind that. Let's have a look here. That join, yeah, that doesn't look right. What we're going to do is, okay, first of all, we're going to let's close that. You can see it's starting to get a bit messy. So what I'm going to do is draw a line right like that. In fact, actually, undo that. Probably easier to just go right across there. All of the offending area where it's not particularly straight. Delete that, and then we'll fill that area. Yeah. Then we can delete the line. Delete the line. There. Okay, and now we can start to maybe distort. Okay, we can see we've got another bit of offending area there. It's difficult to do it exactly. Yeah, there you go. Right, so that should be okay. Let's just fill that bit. Because we're trying to get these curves looking natural. There you go. That sort of looks alright. Although we've got another bit of a dodgy bit down here. Might want to do a bit of smoothing. Let's show all. See where we're at. Okay, so the bottom's looking alright. Modify, shape, advanced smooth. Yeah, whack up the strength, that's okay. Right, let's have a look at this top part. Okay, so that's not great. Let's just take a line. I'm going to just slice it like that. Delete that. This should be 1, 2, 3, and then we can just slowly sort of try and make that look smooth flow across there. Alright, that's okay. Yeah, cool. Alright, let's just do another little smooth shape. Let's try to optimize, see what happens with that. This is reducing the curves. No, I don't like Okay, shape, advanced smooth, whack up the smoothing. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's much better. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Now, the question is, can we just move these out of the way for now? This one I'm going to Command and C, and then Control Shift V. So paste it, copy and paste it into place. But I need to modify, transform, flip horizontal. I need to do both of them. Modify, transform, flip horizontal. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we've got the pair of them. Now probably want them on the midline, so let's select them both. Right click, transform, free transform, move that to the middle using our little visual aids we've got there. Yeah, okay, so we've got those swapping over, but I do think we're not particularly happy on that. Going to make that, going to rotate it a bit more that way. Yeah, Command C to copy, and Shift V to paste it in place, and then modify, transform, flip horizontal. There we go, set them both. Yeah, and then bring them into the centre. Yeah, okay, how's that? Yeah, let's try a stretch in there. Well, near the middle line, I think. Delete that. Needs to be a bit closer to the centre. Right, anyway, okay, I'll try that again. Control C, Control Shift V, paste in place, modify, transform, flip horizontal, select them, well, that one, that needs to go there. Right, let's have a look. That there. Here we go, set them both. Looks like, alright, okay, so we've got that there. Let's put that there, roughly. That one there. Yeah, okay, so we're getting there. Yeah, I just want to play around with the scale of that actually. Let's distort. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Interesting. As I say, don't forget, I'm only only thinking about one side, and and then we'll copy and paste it later. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, that would be alright. Let's see, that's quite demonic. although it's not going to be flat at that point. That will need to come flat across there, but we'll worry about that later. That's probably coming too high. Okay, so, right, we're getting there. I'm going to delete that. Delete up to that, like halfway. Oh, don't want to do that. Okay, and then copy and paste, edit, modify, transform, flip horizontal, yeah, put that here, yeah, okay, and then we can start thinking about closing those gaps. Put that there. It's a bit like a brain. Okay, yeah, that's cool. And we're slowly starting to, get the shape of this. I think maybe they need to be a bit smaller. But I think what we will do is center line. Everything from the line. Delete. Take that. Control C, Control V. Edit or modify, transform, flip horizontal. There we go. I'm not going to bring them sort of close to each other. There we go. Yeah, alright, so they're not quite attached, which is cool. Alright, so we're definitely getting there. We're almost there. What I will do is lock those, add something on the top. Now there is a few more things I'm going to do here, but I'm going to do this off screen, I think, and then come back and show you where we got to. We want a sort of a body, which we can do like this. Select that, and we can put that there. Probably want to transform, free transform, or transform that out, because we want to get those bits. Yeah, there you go. Like that. Maybe that's a bit too wide. Yeah, I'll bring that down, which means these need to be adjusted. So we'll bring that right down. I won't worry about doing it exactly because I'll add symmetry onto them later. Yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3. That's probably too big. Right, okay, so let's rotate that a bit. Okay. Right, so I'm going to play around with this off camera. I'm going to stop recording and then come back shortly with the final version. Okay, so what you'll find is that eventually, depending upon your design and depending on what you're trying to achieve, you can end up with something that looks like this. Then it will be a question of colouring it. You can use obviously the patches here, or you can use the swatch to start thinking about having linear colours or radial gradients where you can set particular colours blue and turquoise, and sort of playing around with the colour. You can also use the gradient transform tool to amend and play around with and move the center point as you wish to come up with your colour schemes. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Once you've got something like that, then you can obviously position it where you want. So you can bring it right up to the top left hand corner, and then work out where the edge needs to be. Let's say 900 by 1000, something like that. So we click, set the document shape, width 900 to 1000. Yeah, make sure that's in the middle, and then we can export, file, export, export image, and then we can set it to export as a transparent PNG. Now it doesn't matter what size we did it at, because we can export it out as a percentage, 50%, 25%. We can do it really small, and it doesn't matter how much we do it, it's all going to stay nice and crisp. We can do it for 400% if you wanted. Yeah, make it really huge, and you see we've still got nice crisp edges with no pixelation whatsoever, which is great. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how to use Animate to create all the types of graphics. This is quite a complicated thing to make, but yeah, it's very easy, and once you get the hang of it, there's loads of stuff you can do with it. Okay, so thank you very much. I'll catch you later.